In this demo, we want to take a look at how we can work in a migration-based development model and have only certain migration scripts released to different environments. So I have an example set up. I've actually updated this migration script. I created it and it's number 16 here. I actually committed this out to version control already, so that's already been done. We've pushed that out. And then if I go over to my build and release, we had a successful build, number 571 just occurred, and it's been released to QA and staging. So if I go back and look at this status codes, I have a last updated item. Let's look at our local servers and see where that is. So in the integration area, we certainly have a last updated column here. And that's in QA and staging as well. And I'll just show staging because we don't want to go through them all. It's there. But it's not in production. So if I come here and look at that in production, it still has the original 2 columns. And in this other production item I've created, there's actually no columns yet. There's nothing been released here. So this would be, for example, a second read-only server that I was deploying to. So my deployments would go here. Now in my release system, I've set up 2 more deployments here, and I'll say, let's go. And once this goes, what happens is the production 2 is set to deploy as soon as production 1 is finished. So these will run automatically. If I look at my logs, and I'm going to go back here to my staging area, when we did this deployment, I only executed 1 migration script, right? So we've already seen there's a database exists, an incremental deployment has occurred, and I'm only going to execute 1 migration script, this 16. And when I go to production and look at that as well, my first production server, we're only going to execute 1 migration script as well. And that's just this single 16. When we go to production 2, we're actually going to have to do more. In fact, the database exists, but I need to execute all of these items. So I need to create all of this stuff that was in that first migration script. And then what I'm going to do is you'll see here I'm executing migration script 15 and 16, 14, 13. All the additional migration scripts are executed as well. So by using the migration framework and using something that tracks which migrations have executed, I can determine which scripts will be executed. In this environment, which had nothing, I'm executing everything. And in this environment, I'm only executing 1. And if I flip back to my Visual Studio and we look at this, and we'll refresh this, we'll find that we in fact have now all kinds of columns and tables that weren't here before, and we have last updated. And if I come here and I refresh this item, we have last updated as well. So hopefully this gives you an idea of how releases work in a migration-based development environment.